Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? My name is Deborah and I'm here to review, rant, and give you my thoughts on episode 6 and 7 of No.Mercy. And for those of you who don't know, I have been reviewing it, so you can check out the other episodes. I might put links up here or I'll put it down in the description. So if you want to check those out, then definitely check one of those places and stuff. And I will be reviewing / ranting and giving my thoughts on the final episode next week. So like the final 3 episodes, 8, 9, and 10 next week, so watch out for that. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about basically the group competition and everything happened. And like I always say, I'm basically gonna just say everything and then try and edit it all together, but I'm going to go according to how it happened. So bear with me if it all seems kind of out of place, but I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, without further ado, let's go.
shotgun 얼굴 따위로 아이돌 하는 놈 아니니까 follow me 하이톤 shotgun 실력만으로 아이돌 하는 놈 암기 가서 나온 놈이 샵 부도지 유엔 난 따라가지.
Alright, so this week we got to see a little bit more of the contestants, and some other people got more screen time and we got to know more about them. And this time they had a competition, a team competition, whereby there was a team that was headed by Shonu and then there was the team that was headed by Wonho. And we started the competition with a vocal performance before going to the rap performance. Now I'm gonna talk about Shonu's team, their training, everything, what I liked, what I didn't like, and their final result. And then I'll talk about the Wonho team and everything that happened and how I felt about it. And then I'll tell you my total thoughts and everything, including the ending, the addition of a new member. Okay, so for Team Jehan, okay, when I first saw how the teams were divided, I was in a whole moment of confusion, because this team has Shonu on one hand, which you all know I am extremely biased about and I love to bits and pieces, and the other team has Shotgun and what's his name, Kihyun, in one team. Like, how can you go wrong? So obviously I was confused on who to choose, because I really do love Shonu, but I also really do love Shotgun, even though I don't love Kihyun up to the level that I love both of them, but I still love Kihyun too. So I was like really confused, and I also loved Yoon, so it was slightly confusing on who I should choose. When Team Jehan started, they were getting along. They first of all decided on a leader, right? And so they decided on Shonu, and obviously I was totally in support of that. And I was just happy with how they were so like in togetherness, and they were communicating effectively, and it was all going all smoothly for them. And I'm like, wow, the unity in this group is like so good and all, and they have no problem, and they were getting along with each other so well, and everything was going well for them, right? And so they come and then they finally performed on the stage, and before they performed they were told to go around the town and try to get an introduction video. And I really loved the introduction video even more than Shotgun's team's performance introduction video, because in their introduction video they actually got an audience that wished them well and told them fighting, and they danced for their audience. And I thought that was really cool, and I just got really emotional when people recognized Shonu, because you remember how in episode 1 God7 fans just left him and he was just dead. If you remember my reviews, I was talking about how that made me so sad for him. So I was really happy that people could finally recognize him. So when Jehan told him, how do you feel now? You remember in episode 1 how they left, but now people are coming to meet you and they can recognize you and they wanted your autograph and all, and they were reflecting on it. I was so happy that they reflected on that, because I was thinking the same thing. So I really loved their introduction video. And then finally they came to perform and they sang Missing You. Okay, I have like a huge history with this song, and if you're like a YG stan, you have had literally almost everybody in YG has covered Missing You as one time or another in their lives, okay? Winner did it.
학교 후박과 입은 티셔츠 free XL 일부러 다리를 절던 힙합 꼬마 래퍼란 매야유 그때는 암석 지금의 행성 그때는 묘 지금의 작업 그때는 그냥 맘 가는 대로 했던 어릴 적 내 표현 그때 참 좋았었는데
Leehi did it, Yedam did it, like all the new trainees, they all did it. Okay, I don't know if Leehi, yeah, Leehi did it. And then what's his name? What's their name? Akmu did it too.
Let go of you. Ain't nobody do it like you. Said every little thing you do. 추억이 돼 오늘에게 say I'm officially missing you.
So like everyone has done it, and it was done. It was one of the competition songs for Who Is Next Win, YG's reality show. So when I had Missing You, I'm like, oh no, we're not going around this route again, right? But I was interested to see what the version would look like, because it's from Who Is Next, YG's reality show that produced Winner. I was crazy, and I'm still crazy about the version, and I still go back to listen to the version. That's how you know something is good, when it's rearranged and recreated and really given to you well and stuff. So I really like the version, and I go back to it. So I was really interested to see how these people will dish it out to me. And so they came, and you know, Shono Babu and all, and everything was going so smoothly and so perfectly in the practice that I was expecting they were gonna kill it. And because I could see how much effort they like put and Shono put to try and make it work, and how they were going along with each other well. I didn't want to take sides on who I wanted to win, and I just wanted the best person to win. And so they came, and then they performed, and throughout the whole performance, the first thing they did, okay, when they first came, they came out and then they sat on this couch, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. The first thing I thought was, what is this? Are we going back to Who Is Next? Because it reminded me so much of Who Is Next, because if you remember, Team A did something like that. That when they sat down on a chair and stuff, and then when they now came out and they were dancing, and then Jehan came out in the middle and he was doing this kind of rap stuff. It just kind of reminded me of Mino when he was doing the same thing to Who Is Next, and I'm like, did y'all go watch Who Is Next and come do this? Don't kill me, don't kill me, everybody don't kill me, okay? But it just reminded me so much. The similarities were just too much, okay? So I'm like, I'm suspecting y'all right now. Did you get your inspiration from Team A and stuff? So I saw it, and it was like, okay, but it really sincerely did not draw me in like that of Team A and Team B. And I'm sorry I'm making comparisons if you hate comparisons, but I just have to make comparisons for this particular situation and another situation that I'm gonna make a comparison for later. But I just had to make a comparison for this because they're both reality shows that touched on this song, and like, you know, I followed both reality shows, and I'm currently following this reality show, so I just kind of have to bring it in. I'm sorry, I just kind of had to make that connection. But I thought of Team A's performance, and I'm like, shoot, YG really killed this song. Like, YG did it, but they didn't bring it as I expected, and I put so much expectation on them, and I don't like when I expect so much from people and they let me down. But it was good. It just wasn't all that good. You know how I always say I'm waiting for Jehan to bring his lyrics and to bring something that really holds me and make me go crazy for him, because I always said that his lyrics haven't done anything to me except the one that he did on Just and stuff. But this week he actually brought it like, let me say 20% in his performance, because I'm like, oh, this lyrics, I was feeling it to a great extent, even though they were like really crazy, but I actually felt it because I feel it's because of the story that they used, how he talked about the whole food situation, and then he like made it his own, his sad moment and down moment in life, his poor moment in life, the times that were hard for him. He took it around and made it his story and then rapped with it, and then that really did touch me. Not like totally, but it did something to me at least. That's why I said I'm gonna give him 20% for that. So it really did. I'm like, this is what I want from you, so next week I want to see better Jehan. So I was really happy that he brought it lyrically a little bit. And then so after they finished their performance, it was the time for the judges to speak. Who, by the way, oh my goodness, got in my little Vasco, thank you Jesus, and Sun Ho Young from God. Oh my goodness, thank you Lord for these judges. But when it was time for the judges to speak, right, they came and they gave their comments and everything, and I love how Sun Ho Young said Jehan stood out so much that the rest were just literally just there. His performance was so charismatic, and that is so true, because that was the same thing I thought too, that it was like he was the performance, he was it, and they were all his backup singers slash dancers or something. He took over the whole performance. Not that it's his fault, he just has that charismatic performance and like aura that if you don't bring yourself up to par with his level, then you won't be able to like take control and hit it and harmonize in terms of stage level and presence with him. So he really did take the stage out, and I really agreed with Sun Ho Young, because I'm like, this is the same thing I was thinking. He was the performance more than they were. He overtook everything and he was the main it of their performance, which made the rest look like backup singers slash backup dancers and made him really stand out. And I remember them saying something like that about Bobby on Mix and Match when they were also having their own survival show, about how Bobby really stood out from his group, and that made me realize something about Shonu's group competition. It made me realize that sometimes your greatest strength can be your greatest weakness, which unfortunately happened for them just as it happened for Bobby. So I was really happy when Sun Ho Young pointed that out, because I could totally relate with that, and I saw it and got in like agreed with him, and they agreed that yes, his presence was really overwhelming compared to that of the others. And then I'm like, okay, now let's see what the other group has to bring right to the table, because I noticed in that episode it was like they were showing too much of Team Shonu, Ojangmyeon compared to Segero. So I really wanted to see what Segero did, because we already saw a sneak peek of Gon not being able to dance. Why is it always them? The Gons, the Minos, and the Rapmons of this world. So finally it came to Team Segero, and we saw how like Gon was basically the one who wasn't really catching up and stuff. But before we go to the dance, in this vocal performance they decided on a song, and when they decided on the song, Wonho decided to like switch it around for them, and at first Gon didn't agree, and there's something Wonho said which I really love, because I'm exactly like that. If I'm the leader of a team and one person says no, I immediately cancel it, because if that person doesn't put their hat in it, that one person can ruin the whole thing. So it's better for all of us to agree on something. After all, we didn't have a problem with original, it's just that we found something better, but one person doesn't think it's better, right? So instead of spoiling the whole thing because one person doesn't like it, then why not just go with the one that we all agreed with anyway? So I really respected him for not saying, oh well, it's my opinion, shoot, I'm the leader, and since all of them like this, we're gonna do it this way. And that just made him stand out at that moment, and I'm like, oh my goodness, boo, why haven't I noticed you before? Where have you been? I received an eye-opening moment for Wonho in this episode, and Wonho is now one of my boos. But before we go into all that, so they did that, and then they decided, finally, Gon, being the awesome, handsome, humble person he is, I just had to say that, he decided to agree and then like see if he can walk along with it, and then he fell in love with it finally, and he decided it was a good thing, and so he wrote his rap to it, and so they came to the stage to give us what they got, and immediately they sat down on that chair, on the chairs. I knew it was over. Like, you know it's over when you sit down on chairs like that. Like, you know they're gonna bring it, okay? Like, it's the deal has been done at that moment. And so they came, and then they were moving the chairs, and then they stood up, and then they sang and everything, and their voices were so chill. And then Gon came, and then Gon rapped. But he's the one I'd have chosen still to be kicked out, because I don't and didn't think he brought it as much as the rest did. Like,